Building. Let's get it. Let's get adjusted real quick. So this camera is adjusted. What was that? Sorry. It's deep. So again, we're gonna try this again, Joe. Let's see what these vibes like, man. Let me dim the lights. It's time to get in chief mode. Say Zaza, go find you something to do. You throwing me off. It's all good though. We finna get to it. It's Chief Why Not, man. I'm Chief of Why Not Gods and Goddesses. Why Not Tribe is a spiritual soul tribe. And of course, you know, we collecting the elite. We ain't too much worried about convicting the weak. You know, they convict themselves. But man, anyways, it's time to wise up. Throw them wise up. You feel me? Matter of fact, get your tribe up. And that's what we on. We finna dive into this quick knowledge real quick. I don't know, it may be a long one, it may be a short one. However, you know, we're gonna get to the bottom of this shit though. You know, gotta watch out for the spirit traps. This is you know, a requested topic. Thanks for the thumbs up. Appreciate that. Who that is in the building? I bet you that's Simone, my goddess. But this is a requested topic though, so let's dive deep. Somebody wanted me to expound on heaven versus hell. And I say, sure. Why not? I definitely got a deep understanding. You know, I understand heaven and hell from a higher perspective, and it's deep. It's very important that we watch out for the spirit traps. This is something that Why Not Tribe teaches about. Spirit traps and how they set up everywhere. Now these spirit traps uses, you know, techniques. They have systems that is made to bound you. How can I bound someone into, you know, making them do what I want them to do? And even worse, not allowing their mind to expand outside of the perimeter I put them in. What's the best way to do that? That would be an easy question for a colonizer. Colonizers got this shit in the bag. They know exactly what to do. Fear. You gotta put that fear in their heart. Hell is a fear tactic that was used to scare you into the spirit trap of religion. Hell is not an external place. Neither is heaven. Heaven and hell, these are not external places we go. These are internal places. These are mental planes that we exist in. So most of us go into these existences unaware of this environment. Meaning a lot of us, we have a holistic state of mind. Not a holistic, but a hellistic state of mind. And we're not even aware of it. I think I'm getting too far ahead of myself. Let me track back real quick. What is heaven and what is hell? I'll start there. Heaven is the kingdom of God, which is peace. Hell is the devil's playground, which is chaos, hate, misunderstanding, confusion. So what is heaven? Heaven is peace. Hell is chaos. So anytime we find ourselves in a chaotic space where it's a lot of, confusion, misunderstanding, well, this is your hell realms, and these exist here on earth. Any place you find love, understanding, joy, peace, well, this is your heavenly states of mind, that is. Like I said, nothing is external. Heaven and hell is an internal thing. A lot of us think we're going to die and go to heaven or hell. Unfortunately, we have it all wrong. When you die, you coming back here. This is the afterlife. And I think that's something that we really need to, think about deeply, meditate on. Of course, the true meaning of meditate means to think deeply. Give me 1 second. To think deeply. So of course, heaven and hell don't exist. I mean, they do, but not the way we think they do. Not the way we've been taught. Appreciate the likes, y'all. Hey, do me a favor, thumb up the video. I appreciate y'all support. Y'all know them thumbs up and them shares, them joints help with the algorithms. This is true knowledge. This is not like agenda teachings. I have no agenda, A lot of teachings, that's being taught nowadays have an agenda behind it. Maybe a product to sell or anything. Appreciate them thumbs up, y'all. But yeah, though, so a lot of us think that we going to heaven or hell once at the end of this life cycle. You're already experiencing heaven and hell. When you're making love, goddesses and gods, this is your heavenly realms. Your heavenly realms. Joy, bliss.
DQ presents
a
burger and blizzard meal matchup. Today's matchup.
When you're in pain, when you've been heartbroken, when you've been lied to, these are your hellistic realms. It's many. Heaven and hell, I look at heaven and hell as dimensions. And of course, in dimensions, you have different realms within a dimension. So I look at heaven and hell, they have many realms within. There's many realms within heaven and hell. So as I said, heaven and hell is an internal thing that exists in the now. Now, I'm not saying the afterlife don't exist, because this is the afterlife. When you, at the end of your life cycle, you will come back. You coming back to experience this again. Most people will. I'll say that. Most people will come back. It's only a very few of us that will ascend to the next level of life. In the Far East Sanskrit teachings, they call this thing samsara. Samsara is when you're trapped inside of the reincarnation cycle. Samsara is a reincarnation cycle that traps you. How do you get trapped inside of samsara? Well, of course, your heart has to weigh lighter than a feather. Also, if you don't ascend to a certain level of consciousness during this lifetime, then you will be bound to this reincarnation cycle. You will be bound here to try it again. If you've been one with a lot of bad intentions, hate-filled, liar, cheater, murderer, thief, you coming back here, you gonna have to try this again. The only way to escape samsara, which is the reincarnation, the cycle of reincarnation that you're bound to, this way, the only way to do that is to keep the heart light as a feather, keep those intentions pure. Now, you keep those intentions pure, heart weighing lighter than the feather. This is a metaphor, meaning the heart weighing lighter than the feather is a metaphor, not a literal thing. So the heart weigh lighter than a feather. Your intentions were pure during your life cycle, where you will be let into eternal bliss. And this is nirvana. This is another Far East teaching. Nirvana is like heaven, according to, scripture and text. Nirvana is like heaven. Better yet, let's take it to Kemetic science. The ancient Egyptians. Nirvana is like the realms of Osiris, or Aru. Aru is the realms of Osiris, and you will have access through those 12 to 24 gates if the heart weigh lighter than a feather. So just like in ancient Kemetic science, they have Aru. Aru is the realms of Osiris. How you get judged by the 42 judges, the 42 assessors. Heart must be way lighter than a feather. Once the judgment takes place, if the heart way lighter than a feather, you will be allowed through, those 12 to 24 gates. And this is where you experience, nirvana for eternity, heaven. So it's like heaven is, or the realms of Osiris, nirvana. Nirvana Just imagine you making love, right? You make love, you finna ejaculate. Right before you finna release. Right before you ejaculate, you hold it right there and slow it down 1,000 times. And you live in all eternity like that. Imagine nirvana being like that, or heaven. Of course, in Islam, they have they certain way of teaching, heaven, weird shit, but that's their teachings. But, of course, I use a lot of ancient texts and maybe even biblical scriptures to make a point. It doesn't mean I believe in these things to be true. It means, you eat the meat and spit out the bones. A lot of us get lost inside of scriptures or ancient texts. We start believing in the Anunnaki. They coming back, and the whole, it's getting weird. And I truly feel like it's taking a lot of us further and further away from the truth. This is why I try my best to stay away from belief systems. I left a few belief systems, Christianity, Judaism, Islam. I was a Christian most of my life. And I started practicing Judaism, became a Hebrew Israelite, until I woke up like, yo, it's just like a more disciplined Christian. They still believe in Yahshua, and they still have a creator God, which is Yahweh. So I left that, fell into Islam, found out Islam is is the offspring of Christianity. So I couldn't escape that shit unless I gave up belief systems, the whole religious thing, period. So I'm very wise when it comes to, the spiritual path. And I'm wise enough to know, like, these deities that the ancient Egyptians spoke about, the ancient Sumerians. You go into the ancient Sumerian doctrine, they have these stone tablets, right, written in stone. And the writings was in the cuneic form language. Cuneic form. This is one of the oldest writing systems known to man. Cuneiform, cuneic form. And in these tablets, you got these specific tablets called the Enuma Elish. Enuma Elish. This is the 7 tablets of creation. They speak about the intergalactic war in the heavens. They speak about, the beings that was on the planet before Adam and Eve. They speak about an extraterrestrial race of aliens coming to planet Earth, making slaves out of the people that was already here. And even, modifying their DNA, genetically splicing their DNA with these people. I'm not gonna say humans, they may be like humanoid, like ape man, ape woman, Homo erectus. We're Homo sapiens sapien. Before that was Homo erectus. Before that, Australopithecus. So it's like these are the type of people that was on this planet. They weren't fully developed humans, but those are the ancestors, And but long story short, these motherfuckers came here and made a slave race so we can work for them. because they needed to mine the planet Earth for anatomic gold, because the gold in their atmosphere was depleting. So they needed anatomic gold, meaning not like gold like how we got it, scoop that shit up out of mining field or through the rivers, found like little pebbles. Nah, they needed the gold that's on an atomic level, like little particles of gold, and you can get that from the earth. They needed people to do it for them, which don't even make sense because if they extraterrestrials and they gods, you have to think, this is the story of the Anunnaki. These were gods. I call them aliens or extraterrestrials because that's what they is. But if these were the gods, and you got Enki and Leo, his sister, their sister, you got Anu, which means the Most High. So if you got these gods or aliens coming to planet Earth, and they're gods, they're extraterrestrials, why the fuck would they need to make some slaves? Make a slave work, create a slave race to work for them? Don't make no sense. So this is, if you read the text carefully, and be able to comprehend what they doing and what they saying in the text, we'll see this story can't be literal. This is a mythological story meant to explain a concept, same as the ancient Egyptians. You got these pyramid texts, all different type of deities being taught about, half man, half animal head, goddesses, animal heads. You got Isis, she's depicted with wings. Tahuti has a bird head. Flesh and blood man, walking around with a bird head. My name is Chief Ynot, and you need only truth. That's what Ynot stand for. You need only truth. And the truth is, in the beginning of my spiritual awakening, when I was on the path to knowledge, on the search for knowledge, I left Christianity, stopped believing in Jesus Christ, and I dwelled other places. Comedic science, I fell into that too. But it was very necessary on the journey. But I've come to realize, like, I used to believe in these Egyptian gods until I started to mature in my studies and just ask self a lot of questions like, yo, how the fuck, if Jesus Christ don't exist, but you believe in Osiris, you believe in Tahuti, flesh and blood man with a bird head. See, in the ancient Egyptian mystery schools of Kemet, a Kemetic priest is gonna teach you about all different type of ancient Egyptian deities. The sciences, the practices, the magic that they dwelt in and everything. But he's not gonna tell you these were literal beings. A Kemetic priest gonna let you know, like, yo, this is something that we call anthropomorphic. Anthropomorphic. And when you take animalistic or extraterrestrial characteristics and associate it to a man to try to explain a story or a concept. So meaning these beings were deified. And that's what a lot of ancient cultures did. They anthropomorphized their deities. So you have like volcano gods. These things have been deified to explain a more colorful story. You have like the moon god, the sun god. They're not literal gods. They've been made gods. They've been deified to make the story more colorful. This is how you this is something being anthropomorphic. So you know how I give references from the Egyptian Book of the Dead, maybe Sumerian text, the Bible, maybe even the Quran. Don't mean I believe in these things to be literally true. I eat the meat and spit out the bones. But I definitely want to stick to the assignment of heaven versus hell. And these are internal places that you go. This is not nothing external of you. So again, heaven is peace, hell is chaos. Wherever you find peace, understanding, joy, this is your heavenly realms. Wherever you find chaos, misunderstanding, confusion, well, this is your hellistic states of mind. And we visit those places sometimes, but it's very important for us to, in and out, be in and out those places. Don't get stuck in hell, meaning mentally. Don't do it. We have to be able to, discern good literature from bad literature. Because we all come from source. Source is consciousness. This is what allows you to experience life subjectively. Consciousness, and of course, consciousness has three parts. You got conscious, unconscious, and subconscious. This is a three-parted, model. All three parts make up the whole. So you got consciousness, unconsciousness, and subconsciousness. And truly, this is what the ancient Cometians, I understand what they taught when they teach about, the 9 parts of the soul, and each part being three-parted. So it's deep. So you got the 9 parts of the soul, each part being three-parted, 3, 6, 9. Like how I broke it down, you got the subconscious, the conscious, and the unconscious. Each part has 3 parts. So 3, 6, 9. I just simplified it. The ancient Egyptians, they made it more complex as far as like the 9 parts of the soul being, the Ka, the Ba, the Ak, the Ren, the Shuyet. You feel me? So, I don't know. It's deep. It's deep because once you really think about it, it's really only 3 parts. 3 parts to the soul, but, those 3 parts can be broken down. They can be squared by 3. So it's like the Ka and the Ba, these are parts of the spirit. But the Ka is your shadow self. And this is the part of you that will escape the body once, this life cycle is over with. Now this is according to ancient Kemetic science. So you got the Ka, the Ba, and the Ak. Well, ka and the ba, this makes up the ak. One part. This probably, I would say this is the subconscious. You know, the shuyet, the rin, you got a few more. I don't feel like going, to my notes to get them, but, y'all get the picture. There's three parts to the mind being the soul. And in ancient Egyptian science, ancient Kemetic science, you had 9 parts of the soul, so I just squared them off, basically, by 3. And the emerald tablets. And the emerald tablets of Tahuti, of Thoth. In tablet 15, you got tablet 15, secrets of secrets. Tahuti states, you're made up of 3, mind, body, and soul thing. Everything comes back to the number 3, though. It's truly, man. It's kind of strange, you know. Peace to everybody in the building. I appreciate the thumbs, Joe. Appreciate the likes, man. But yeah, though, so in ancient Kemetic science, you have 9 parts of the soul. And of course, in the ancient Kabbalah, this is Jewish mysticism. You have the 10 Sephirot. Also, in ancient Kemetic science, you have the Ynot. The Ynot, these are the 9 supreme deities that was created by Atum, including Atum himself. Atum is the son of Ptah, and Atum, the sun god, Re. Atum had children, Shu and Tefnut, and they had children, Nut and Geb, and they had children, Osiris, Isis, Nephthys, and Set. Sometimes Horus. If they add Horus, there will be 10 supreme deities. But without Horus is 9. Of course, in the ancient Kabbalah science, Jewish mysticism, you have the 10 Sephirot. The 10 lights of Ein Sof. Ein Sof being the Jewish God before physical manifestation. So it's like just infinite. Ein Sof means infinite in Hebrew. This is what they call God before physical manifestation. So it's like when they say in Torah, in Genesis, the Spirit of God hovered over the deep, dark waters. In Genesis, right, the Spirit of God. So this is in the beginning, right? Well, the Kabbalah explains what happens before that. And it explains that spirit hovering over the water before it became a spirit hovering over the water. So this is what Ein Sof is. Ein Sof means infinite in Hebrew. Ein Sof is the Jewish God before manifestation. That God started to manifest into a spirit hovering over the waters. But it had to go through a process before it became a spirit. And we could run through the process, you feel me? But truly that, I like to break that down with full understanding, and I really don't want to just run through it, but it starts off with like the Ayin. You have Ein Sof sitting inside of the Ayin. The Ayin is nothingness. Ayin means nothingness in Hebrew. Ein Sof means infinite in Hebrew. So in the beginning, you had Ein Sof. Shayna Watson, peace, goddess. I appreciate the support. Thumb up the video. Thanks, hippie. I appreciate that, goddess. So you have Ein Sof. Ein Sof was sitting inside of the Ayin. Ayin means nothingness in Hebrew, nothing in Hebrew. Ein Sof means infinite. So you had Ein Sof sitting inside of the Ayin. You had infinite sitting inside of nothingness. It's deep because if you get deeper into it, you see you are the Ein Sof sitting inside of nothingness every night. You fall into unconscious sleep, and this is a state of existence. This is a part of your mind, unconsciousness. It's there for a reason, and the more and more I dwell on it, life shows me that the unconscious state is the portal. This is the only way to the next level of life. We have to go to a state of non-existence to come out on the other side. So anyway, you have Ein Sof sitting inside of the Ayin, that's infinite sitting inside of nothingness. Also, you got, so Ein Sof was sitting inside of the Ayin. Then Ein Sof created the Or Ein Sof. Or Ein Sof means infinite lights. The Or, this is the lights. It's infinite. So Ein Sof created infinite lights that was everywhere. Like, according to the text, this light, this whole reality was just lit up with lights from the Or Ein Sof. These are the lights that Ein Sof created. God before manifestation. So from the Or Ein Sof, you have the Zimzum. The Zimzum meaning the contraction. These lights being contracted and condensed, allowing room for open space, new air. Academy of Enlightenment, peace, God. Peace and healing to everybody in the building. So you got the Or Ein Sof created the Zimzum. What is the Zimzum? Not created the Zimzum, but the Zimzum took place, meaning the contraction. Zimzum means to contract or, condensate, so to speak. So these lights that was infinite started to contract. Okay, what up, Ross? What up, Ross? So look, these lights that was infinite, they started to contract and condense in. And once these lights started to contract, this allowed for open space. There was no open space at first because this whole reality was filled with the Or Ein Sof, the infinite light. Infinite light. So once the Or Ein Sof was created, the Zimzum happened. This is those infinite lights being contracted, being, condensed, getting heavier, but, packed in. Once these lights started to contract, it was open space. And this is how life began. From this open space, from the Zimzum period, then you have the 10 Sephiroth. The 10 Sephiroth is the 10 emanations of Ein Sof, or the 10 lights of Ein Sof. But on a deeper level, on a way deeper level, it has something to do with way before light even existed. This 10 Sephiroth truly is the 10 sounds. The 10 sounds. So it's deep, but that's on a deeper level though. A lot of people don't even not even aware of that. They just think the 10 Sephiroth is the 10 lights. I understand that because, I was on that level of scholarship or knowledge at a point in time too. But like real Jews that received the Kabbalah, which is an oral teaching. I mean, there's books written about the Kabbalah, but you're not going to find the actual Kabbalah because it's an oral teaching. But only the first son of the Jewish household receives the Kabbalah. Everybody else received the Torah. The Christians get the New Testament. Muslims get the Quran. So the Kabbalah existed before the Old Testament, the Torah, the Tanakh. And only the first Jewish son of the household was allowed to receive the Kabbalah because it's a lot of magic in there. It's a lot of wisdom. It's a lot of power in those ancient teachings. This is how the Jews run this whole planet today. The Jews got their hands in everything we got going on. They like, y'all know how the Jews running shit. That's not a myth. That's an actual fact. So the 10 Sephiroth, the 10 emanations of God, I understand that, but on a deeper level, and I'll dive deep in on, the 10 sounds, and raise y'all consciousness as it pertains to, these ancient Kabbalah teachings. Because I got a deep understanding of them. Of course, the 10 Sephiroth is correlated, to the tree of life, Metatron's cube. That's what they say. But truthfully, why don't they just keep it real? So y'all got that shit from the fucking ancient Egyptians. That's cool if, you feel me? If you've been influenced by, a greater civilization, that's cool. But why not give the ancient Egyptians their credit? They had the 9 Ynot, right? The 9 supreme goddesses of creation. The 9 supreme deities of creation. And they got the 9 parts of the soul. Soul means light, sun. 9 lights or 10 lights. Because the 9 parts of the soul, not the 9 parts of the soul, but the 9 supreme deities of the Ynot, it could be 10 if they added Horus, and sometimes Horus is added. So the Kabbalah teachings, you feel me, is heavily influenced by ancient Kemetic science, and if you knew the teachings, you would see what I mean. Like, okay, I see where they got that from. So it's deep. So we got the 10 Sephiroth being 10 emanations of Ein Sof, or the 10 lights of Ein Sof, but on a deeper understanding, the 10 sounds of Ein Sof, vowels included. Because we have to understand, sound is a very, very important part of creation. This is a prerequisite. Sound. Almost nothing exists without having sound. So in science, thought raises in vibration. You have a thought. This thought that comes in your mind, it may raise up in vibration. Start to vibrate high enough that you start to hear it. Vibrate high enough, you start to speak it. You speak words that sound. So that sound is a thought that raised in vibration. That sound raises in vibration. If sound raises to the capacity in hertz, that energy has to transcend into light. So before you had light, you had sound. Light is how you see sound. You can see sound. You look at light, I mean like natural lights, not no, plug in the wall shit. Like you look up in the sky, it's raining, you hear a thunder sound. What comes first, the thunder or the lightning? Truthfully, the sound went off first, and that sound was raised in capacity in hertz to the maximum frequency, and that sound transcended into light. If we looking at a storm and we 5 miles away, we might see the light before we hear the sound. We might see the flash and then hear the sound. But this is only because light travels faster than the speed of sound. So of course, sound went off first. We 5 miles away. Sound went off first. Then the lightning. That lightning flashed and we saw that shit. The sound still traveling to get to us. So we hear the thunder after. But if we was sitting under that storm, under that cloud, we would have heard a big ass thunder clap first and then saw the lightning. Because we're under it. Since we far away, that light hit us first because it's faster than sound. So this is what the ancient Kabbalah teaches is, getting to, but this on a deeper level. You feel me? This is, this I ain't even really supposed to be talking about this shit, but I'm not a Jew, and I don't fear him. I'm Chief. Why not? I can talk about whatever I want, But these ancient Kabbalah teachings, when it comes to the 10 Sephiroth, these are 10 sounds. If I had a Jewish rabbi up here to build with, he'd know what I mean. He might not want to expound on it, but he'd know that I'm tapped in. You tell a person these are the 10 lights, the 10 emanations. Okay. I get it. You're right. The less you know, the better you are. But yeah, though, man, so as it pertains to heaven and hell, heaven is hell. Heaven is peace and hell is chaos. Wherever you find your peace at, this is your heavenly states. Wherever you find chaos, misunderstanding, confusion, this is your hell realms. You need to get up out of those places as soon as possible. I definitely appreciate y'all energy. I'm finna slide on up out of here. Probably tap in on IG in a minute, man, but appreciate the energy. This one definitely going in the vault. Appreciate y'all time, y'all support. Everybody gratitude, man. It's Chief Why Not. I'm Chief of Why Not Gods and Goddesses. You need only truth. That's what it stands for. You need only truth. YNOT. Why not? Throw the wise up. It's time to wise up. Peace and healing, y'all.